I was so terrible. This is not a lie. I was so terrible that he allowed me to quit.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode in sunny California. My name is Portia.
I'm Charles.
And together we're the artist duo Saint Oshun. So Charles, what are we talking about today?
Good question. You are a good question.
We were talking about why we started making music. I started in 5th grade. I wanted to desperately play trombone. I can remember these kids marched in with their instruments, right? And when the trombone player came, he went, and I'm like, that's it. That's the one. That's what I got to play, right? Sit down with my band teacher, and she said, okay, now we're going to try some different mouthpieces. And I was like, no. Don't need to try different mouthpieces. I'm going to play trombone. That's what I'm doing. She said, we'll try that, but we're going to try some different ones just to see which one sounds best. So she gave me the trombone one, did the thing, then trumpet thing. Okay, try a saxophone. I played the saxophone. I can't replicate the sound because you have to have a piece of a reed to play. I did that, and she said, stop. Do that again. I did it again, and she said, you have the perfect embouchure. You have to play saxophone. I don't want to play stupid saxophone. I want to play trombone. She's like, no, seriously. You will be so far ahead of everybody else because you already have the natural mouth shape. So that's where it began. I actually have to rewind just a little bit to explain why I even got interested in music. So I grew up in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin, which I mentioned before. But one of the things that was really difficult growing up in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin, was there were no people of color except for me. I think 3rd grade was when a Puerto Rican family moved in. But up until then, there was no other people of color there. So I can remember our librarian for Black History Month, she made us all research musicians. And she gave me Louis Armstrong. That was the first musician. I researched him, listened to his music. I was like, oh my gosh, I connected. Then she gave me a second research project because I finished my first so fast because I was so excited. So she gave me John Coltrane. Researched him, started listening to his music. Oh my gosh. So that was really the first time I connected with both being African American and music all simultaneously because I wasn't into sports. A lot of people don't know this. I think Portia might. My dad forced me to play basketball for 1 year. I was so terrible. This is not a lie. I was so terrible that he allowed me to quit and never asked me to play sports again. He watched me play the last game of the season because I didn't even play until the last game when they had to put me in because I had not played at all. And I was so bad that he just was like, yeah, you just stick to the saxophone. You just go ahead and stick to the saxophone. That's where I first started in music. And then from there, continued high school jazz, college jazz. I put my first band together in college because we were required to. And that's when I really, really started falling in love because the performance aspect, even to this day, is what my number one passion is. I just love getting on the stage and performing for people. I think I've done it ever since high school. I was in acting as well as I was in musicals as well as I was in improv, and I was doing live performances. And I've grown to love recording. I've grown to love songwriting. But my passion for sure and how I got in the game was definitely live music. That's the rush for me. That's the drug for me. So, Portia, do you want to talk a little bit about why you got into music or what made you start making music?
All right. Why did I start music? Well, let's go all the way back. 4th grade. Actually, before then, I was singing. I was like a closet singer. I loved it. I wasn't sure if anyone else loved it, so I was just shy. I was a shy little kid. 4th grade came. It was my opportunity to play an instrument. I picked flute. Loved it. I was obsessed.
You play jazz flute?
I dabble.
Mary Had a Little Lamb. I'm like, look what I can do. Toot, 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 tweet, tweet. Bruh, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like, obsessed. What's the next song? Let me learn this song. I was like, I'm creating music. Like, this is so much fun. So fast forward to middle school. Then high school, I played a lot of woodwinds. Throughout, I was trying other instruments, just, experimenting. There was the bass clarinet. There was a tuba and a baritone in my existence of just trying things. There was the cello. Love them all. Stuck with the flute and the bass clarinet. Fast forward to college, did not even go to performing arts school. Like, why?
What?
I was literally voted, you know how you do the senior superlatives? I was voted most talented, which I was so grateful for. I mean, I knew I had some talent, but, there were quite a few people in our school that could outsing me, I thought, and outdance me, I thought. But I got most talented and did not even go to a performing arts school. Like, who does that? My focus was more on, I was just told that you couldn't make any money doing it. And I happen to have a talent also in math and science. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go to engineering school. So went to engineering school. The only performing arts musical thing that I did there, because it was an engineering school, because it didn't really offer a lot. It was pretty dry. It was a dry college experience. A lot of work. A lot of doing math problems and solving equations and solving the world's problems through equations. So yeah, it was pretty dry, but I did play guitar and sing. So that was like my outlet. I learned how to play acoustic guitar, sing praise songs for one of the Christian organizations on campus. During that experience in college was when one summer I just happened to be sitting next to this guy at a festival, a music festival, because I hadn't really done much. I hadn't done any performing except leading praise for all those years. And I think it was like my senior year, I was watching this cover band perform. It was a really popular cover band in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, called the Eddie Butts Band. And I'm like, wow, they're amazing. I mean, they were really good. It was my first time seeing this band and also seeing myself up there. I saw myself. I'm like, it wasn't even a question. It was like, wait, I'm not supposed to be down here. I'm supposed to be up there. I'm supposed to be doing that. It was just sort of like this aha. And it wasn't like, oh, I could do it better than you. It wasn't that energy. It was more like, that's just where I was supposed to be, And probably it was my spirit saying, you really miss this. You miss performing. And I'm not sure if it was the performing that I missed. I'm not sure. Because we'll get to that. The performing part, like I said before, I'm shy. Like, I don't really perform because of the performance. That's where we differ. Because of the performance itself, Because when I got my first gig after seeing the Eddie Butts Band, this guy's like, I'm sitting next to, he's like.
Shout out to Eddie Butts, by the way. Shout out to Eddie Butts.
Shout out to Eddie Butts. So I was happy to be sitting next to this guy. I think I was bold enough to tell him this. I was like, hey, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing that. He's like, oh, you sing? I was like, yeah, I'm a musician too. And so we talked about it. And he's like, I know that guy. I could possibly get you an audition. So that's kind of where it started. That's when I started.
What was his name?
Don.
Rest in peace, Don.
Yes. He was an amazing jazz trumpet player from Milwaukee. That was my introduction really to the performance that similar to what I'm doing now, right? I want to tell him my first performance with the band. No, so I didn't audition for Eddie Butts because he didn't have an opening. But he did introduce me to another band called Collage, spelled with a K. Shout out to Collage. Oh, man, I wish I could find some footage of that. I remember my first gig with them. Okay, so I auditioned and I got the spot, right, as the lead vocalist. My first few shows with them, I was so nervous. I'm shy. I don't know what you think of my singing. I thought it sounded good. But, I was too concerned about what other people think. I do better when I'm on my own and I'm enjoying the music. I'm enjoying the lyrics. And I'm being expressive. For some reason back then, I couldn't do that. So, yeah, I just don't like being the center of attention. In fact, I have a fun story. I used to be,
It's a fun story inside of a fun story.
Yeah. Yeah, let's keep going. Fun story inside of a fun story. Inside of a fun story. I'm on stage, and I thought to myself, like, While we were setting up, I set my microphone in the center, front and center. I'm like, dang, this makes me nervous. Dang, I'm front and center? Nobody want to be front and center. That's too much pressure. So I used to literally take the stand, like let's say it was here, and I would like just put it over just a little. It literally made me feel better. If I backed it up just a little and moved it over just a little, where it looked like I was in the center, I was in the center zone. That's how much I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I don't want to do it. I had to figure out how to love it. And that's another story for another day, because I did go through a process. Back to the question of why I start doing music. I just love music. I love expressing it. In fact, who doesn't like singing? Singing is like this expression of life, of feelings, of joy, of celebration, of sadness, of heartbreak. I've always realized that I love pop music. I love the catchy hooks. I love seeing people sing together. I love you too! I don't care. It doesn't have to be at a concert. I love seeing it at a concert. I like being a part of it. If I'm on stage, if they're singing it to me, the ultimate, probably. I just really love pop music. I love catchy hooks. And I just love the camaraderie and the community of singing together. It's just, that's my After doing cover songs for so long, for so many years, I had realized, I have something to say. I don't want to just, don't get me wrong, I do like doing covers.
Loving your body, baby. Whining your body, baby. So crazy.
Because then you can express it the way you want to express it. Or maybe you want to express it like they did and then just put your own little twist on it. Because it's going to always have your own twist, period. I don't care how much you try to emulate so-and-so. But, at one point I just realized I would like to express my own ideas and my own experiences. And I want to connect with people that way. So that's why I started doing music.
We have something in common. You talked about when you were in high school, you kind of hung around the band room a lot and just kind of played, and you asked the band director for like different instruments just to kind of explore and mess around. I was that same band nerd. I did the same thing. That's how I learned to play trumpet when I was up there, a clarinet. I never sat in study hall. The band director always let me come up, and I was always playing some instrument.
Yeah, same. And I loved dancing and singing too, right? So me and my sisters would sing a lot together. I had a few friends that were amazing vocalists that I would sing with them. We were always dancing. We were like coming up with so many routines, especially during the summertime. Like we'd be hanging outside on the porch. I mean, that's what you do in the hood. Y'all hang out on the porch out in the street, and we would come up with routines. But there was that side of me I was the band nerd too, Hey, let's go! And I loved singing in the choir, which we didn't really sing pop. We would, we'd be like, Ave Maria. Yeah. You're using a lot of that. And one of my friends heard me practicing one time. She said, y'all got to sing like that? So that wasn't cool either. That wasn't cool. But ensemble was cool because we dropped the awe. We still sounded like Broadway. So it was somewhere in between pop, classical music, yeah. So those weren't as cool. Those were all the nerds, but, I loved it all. That's why I love music. I just love everything about the performing arts.
But do you love Lamp?
I don't love Lamp. Not unless it's playing music.
I love Lamp. I love Lamp.
You just gave someone an idea. Someone's going to make a musical Lamp and make millions.
I love Lamp. That's a crusty joke right there. That was terrible.
It was wonderful. That's one of our favorite movies. Don't stop it.
It's still crusty. No one needs to know.
First of all, if there's something you want us to talk about, leave it in the comments below. We still do not have a name for this show. We keep looking at your comments. We're going to eventually choose one, but we haven't yet. So comment below. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell so you get all of the notifications, because you know we drop music videos at this point now like every other month. So thank you guys so much for watching.
And lastly, if you guys have other ideas for content that you'd like to see us do, or questions that you have burning, you've always wanted us to answer, please also put those in the comments below. Until next time.
Peace, y'all.
Bye-bye. If you'd like to check out the music videos that we mentioned in this video, you can find the links to those in the description below. Comment below if you want to see more content like this. And we'll see you guys in the next video.